Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, the live animal export industry is systemically cruel, not in Australia's economic self-interest, and lacks popular support. That a succession of coalition and Labor governments have allowed the trade to continue beggars belief, as does the Agriculture Minister's bizarre joy every time the trade is expanded. And here we are again, this time with the revelation of Australian cattle being bludgeoned to death with hammers in Vietnam. My God, Deputy Speaker, how many more exposés do we need before a government, any government, finally acts decisively to outlaw this vile trade? Indeed, complaints and stories have circulated for years about what's going on in Vietnam with Australian livestock. In other words, it's not as if this latest episode is an isolated revelation, because the evidence is clear that Vietnam, which is the second largest market for Australian cattle after Indonesia, is an especially notorious destination where Australian livestock can likely expect the most grisly end. Now, yes, the Agriculture Department is apparently looking into this latest incident, but frankly, I have no confidence, Deputy Speaker, that anything much will come of it, because this government's track record is to take little or no action against companies found to be guilty of misconduct in the live export trade. And that in itself helps to explain the ongoing commercial misconduct. The fact that the companies associated with the cruelty know they've got political top cover from a minister who doesn't give a toss about animal welfare, and from a regulatory bureaucracy that's either incompetent or politicised. Ironically, the situation has got to the point where even some in the live animal export industry are starting to worry that the animal abuse is so widespread and that the stories about it so abundant that sooner or later something's got to give, and that would jeopardise the entire industry. But, Deputy Speaker, what's the real value in some people in the live trade speaking up, albeit probably entirely out of self-interest, when the government and regulator won't act? And this certainly seems to be the case if the recent report in the West Australian newspaper is accurate, which recounts all sorts of allegations involving Southeast Asian livestock services and Wellard, and everything from animal cruelty to commercial espionage to the arrest of some of the players by Vietnamese police, all of which is most alarming, perhaps trumped only by the silence from the government and the Agriculture Department, which suggests more disinterest and inaction. Good grief, Deputy Speaker, and all the time the animals suffer.